So in this video we'll look at top 20 MS Excel Microsoft shortcuts. So let's get started. So first one is Control A. So using Control A you can select the entire worksheet. So let's say the Control and then say A, so that way it will select the entire worksheet. So let's move to the second one. Let's assume you want to select only use areas. So in that case what we do is we say control and then say home, so that way it goes to the first cell. Then from there I say control shift and end, so that way it will select only use area of my worksheet. Now let's I'll move to the next one. The next one says control space. So using that you can select the entire column. So let's go to this set and say control and space, so that way it will select this columns, the column C. So let's move to the next one. Let's assume you want to select the entire row. So in that case what you have to do, you have to say shift and space. So let's assume here you are here and I say shift and then space, so that way it will select this particular row. So let's move to the next one. Next one is F2. Using F2 what you can do, you can edit the current cell. So here let's see, I am at this cell and if I want to enter some text, what I have to do, using mouse I have to double click on this one and then I can type something. Instead what you can do, let's assume you are here and you say is F2, that way it comes in the edit mode and you can type something like this. Now let's move to the next one. It says alter enter. So using that you can enter a new line into cell. So let's assume I'm here and I say hello, and after that I want to have hi, and that has to be in the new line. So what I say is I say alter and then say enters and say hi, so that way it comes hi, hello. And using this way you can enter new line. So I say control Z and let's move to the next one. Next one we have something called control then semicolon. Using this one what you can do, you can enter the current date. So let's assume I'm here and I say control and say semicolon. See, you can see the current date. Now let's go to that format cell and see what's the type. So the type says it a date. So let's say control Z. Now the next one is says, let's assume you want to enter a current time. So in that case what I do, I go to the cell and say current shift and semicolon, so it gives me a time. So if I go to the cell and I say it's custom and says HHMM, so instead let's assume I say time and then select probably this one and say okay. Now let's delete this and say is control shift and semicolon and say this one. See, it gives me this timestamp, but somehow it doesn't capture this second, but yeah, I think that's fine. So next one, what we have something called control enter. So using that you can fill the selected cell with content of the current. So let's do the practical dub. So first one I have AA, then I have BB, then I have CC. So what I say is I select all this C and say control and then select one and then say F2 and then say control enter. See, all cell become BBB. So that's what you can do using control enter. The next one is something what we have is control D. So using control D you can delete the context of selected cell. Let's assume you have this BBB, select all these three and say control D. Okay, same way let's assume do a control Z. Even you simply say delete, it will delete this thing. So either you can use delete or you can go with control D. So in the next we have a control Y. So using control Y you can repeat the last action. So let's do one thing. Let's copy this and paste it here. So my last action is paste. So if I go to this cell and say control Y, so it will do the paste action. So that way you can repeat the last action. So let's do control Z. Let's move to the next one. The next one we have control F1. So using that you can show or hide the ribbon. So let's do control F1. So it will hide the ribbon. And now let's do a control F1 again. So again I can see the Excel ribbon. So the next one is something called shift F11. So using that you can open a new Excel sheet. So what I do is I say shift and F11. So I can see this new sheet that's called a sheet 4. So let's delete the sheet. So let's go to the next one. So next one I have control page down and up. So using that you can go to the next or previous worksheet. So let's do control and then say page down or say page up. See, it's moving. So that way you can move to the next tab. So the next one we have the control G. So using that you can open the go to dialog. So I say control and say control G. So it will open the go to dialog box. Even I can do F5. So using that again I can open this go to dialog box. The next one we have a control F, which using that you can find or replace dialog box. So let's do this control F. So here you have that find or replace box. So you can type something, you can find. For this one it didn't find something. Again if I say control H, it directly go to replace. So using that you can find and replace the text. So let's move to the next one. I say home, then return the first cell of the current row in the worksheet. So if I'm here and say home, so it comes as the first cell of this row. So next one we have something called control home, which is used to move to the beginning of the worksheet. So I say control and then say home. So it comes as the first cell of the entire sheet. So now let's go to the what was the next one. I say control, and so the next one is control end. I say control, then say where is that end. So it goes to the last cell of that use area of the Excel. The last one we have F1. If I say F1, it will open the help file of the Excel. I think that's all for this video. Thank you for watching this video, and in the next video we'll look at another shortcut